Maybe so, graduate school.
Right.
But the disparity, nevertheless, the disparity of power between those two individuals and the disparity between the recklessness of Bill Clinton's act as President of the United States, it's not even in the same book with what Monica Lewinsky did.
The proof is that she had the power as much as he did because she threatened him. She blackmailed him. And who's winning now? Who has the power?
The person who has the power who is the President of the United States that commands the United States government. And the recklessness and irresponsibility here, and what the American people are owed an apology for, is the gross recklessness on the part of Bill Clinton, who is the President of the United States.
Yeah, I would agree that it was reckless, and I think he should apologize. I think he is.
He's apologized every day for 2 weeks.
He's a fake phony fraud.
You know what? You want an apology, and then when he does it, you say he's a fake phony fraud. How do you win?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you precisely why.
He apologized in Ireland. He apologized in Russia. He apologized in Florida. He apologized in a fox. He apologized with a fox.
That's because he... That's because he called Dick Morris, okay, and he called his posters and his spin masters, and they said that you are starting to lose, that your phony, half-stepping, phony apology on August 17th, which was never really an apology, he never said, I'm sorry, August 17th, is hurting you, and that's why he came out. And nevertheless, in a cabinet room meeting with Donna Shalala, when Donna Shalala called him on the table, this is during his apologia, called him on the table for embarrassing her and embarrassing the presidency, he lashed back at her and said, well, if they had these standards during Nixon and Kennedy, then Nixon would have been elected president. This is a guy who's not really contrite. This isn't a guy who's serious about making an apology.
Who's running our country? Right. Who's taking care of
I care who's running our country.
No, what are they doing? What are those people doing? All they're doing is arguing about the president. Are they taking care of the 1 in 5 children that are living in poverty? Are they taking care of
health care?
Are they taking care of anything? No, they're arguing about
neither is Bill Clinton because he's spending too much time with cigars and on telephones.
Please.
And as we know, other people are having illegitimate kids and stuff in the Republican Party. Everyone does it. Everyone on Capitol Hill is doing it. Everyone is doing it. Don't be so naive.
Okay, you can tell him, but I have to take a commercial right now. All right, you mentioned other presidents in the past and how they handled it. Let me quote what Monica Lewinsky said by her own words when after the affair had petered out. She said, and she was blackmailing the president. She said, I don't want to have to work for this position, the job he was hoping that she would get him. I just want it to be given to me, like everything else in her entitled little life. And, you know, when Kennedy broke off with Marilyn Monroe, well, I mean, they killed her. And, you know, Clinton at least had the courtesy not to kill her.
You win that point.
Isn't that worth something?
I want to get back to what
Leah... We didn't have the time to get that together, though. I mean, you guys are arguing. You can be either self-righteous about it or you can view it as entertainment. But here's another thing. Perjury. The guy got up and said, didn't do it. What are they going to do? What's he going to do about perjury? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's suborning perjury.
I said this before. You grade murder. You have murder 1 and murder 2. The different levels of murder. There's different levels of perjury. One saying there's no Holocaust when 10 million people die. The other saying where you had sex and you didn't have sex.
Izzy, different levels. So naive. Izzy, that right now the Clinton administration is investigating. The Clinton administration, as we speak, the FBI is pushing the Justice Department for an indictment against Henry Cisneros. You know what for? For lying about an affair he had with a mistress. Right now, the Clinton Justice Department has put under indictment...
Every president lies. Every politician lies.
What's your point?
What you lie about?
The issue is not...
I thought that, too.
If I can tell you the point is not an issue of adultery or about sex in the case of Cisneros or in the case of Clinton and Lewinsky, it's a question of obstruction of justice or possible perjury
Whose justice? Whose justice is being obstructed? Tell me that. Who was hurt by this before they
I'll tell you, Janet Reno's. Because Janet Reno is the one. Janet Reno is the one who said to Ken Starr that you can expand your investigation into Monica Lewinsky and the relationship between Bill. Am I lying? Am I wrong?
My point is that
the one who was
the country.
I would have had the cojones.
Can I say a point here? I want to say a point as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
We got to listen to Eddie.
I will compete with your bass vocal tones. Yes, I think the country is looking at what's fair, logical, whereas up on Capitol Hill, it's saying, what can we do with the law to get him out? Get him, you know, it's that.
Right.
And so the country is saying this was an affair, and if you push and say, did you have an affair? No. Okay, you're lying. That's perjury, but that's in fact lying. Everyone lies. Everyone does perjury. If you say, ask anyone in this thing, in the entire country, in the entire world, if they've never ever lied, no one can say they've
George
never
Bush stood up before the American people and said, Clarence Thomas is the most qualified man to be on the Supreme Court. Now, that's a huge lie that affects my life.
And my point
that affects my life.
That's a political cheap shot on your part.
That's a what?
That's a political cheap shot on your part.
No, that's the truth.
And what I'm not going to get back into
Nigel, my point is to grade the lying. Some lies about murder or cover-up
There's a difference between
high crimes and misdemeanors, and one is sex. You know, it's high crimes and misdemeanors, or is it sex and lying about sex?
Let's go through a little chronology here. Bill Clinton, during a civil suit, lies under oath.
Because they set a perjury trap for him.
I'm already saying that.
He then orchestrates over several months, and then keep in mind, this is just about sex.
It is.
And then over several months, he orchestrates a campaign where he enlists his cabinet, his lawyers, even his wife to dishonor all themselves and lie on his behalf.
You know
because
what?
it's just about sex.
It is just about
40 million digging
because
very
he
aggressive
was scared.
It's really about getting Bill Clinton.
He was scared for his legal life. He was hiding something. He was obstructing.
Of course he is. He's an adulterer. Adulterers hide. It's their nature.
Like I said before.
What do you think adulterers do?
Like I said before.
It's just that when you're the president and you're caught with adultery, then you have to enlist the cabinet. When you're just a regular schmo and you're caught with adultery, you might ask your friend, hey, tell my wife I was with you the other night. That's all it is.
If Bill Clinton was a priest.
Tell my wife I was bowling with you on a presidential level.
Do you truly think...
That's all it is.
Hold on. Let me respond. Do you truly think that people have an illusion in their mind, and certainly Hillary Clinton has an illusion in her mind that her husband does not commit adultery? We're not talking about a priest here. No, Bill Clinton did not go through all type of machinations because he was trying to hide adultery from his wife, who didn't know about Bill Clinton being an adulterer.
Okay,
he was trying to hide it from the American people and obstruct Ken Starr's investigation because he was trying to prevent Ken Starr from coming up with concrete evidence for perjury.
Let me say something. If it was so easy to admit this thing in politics, why didn't all those Republicans who've had the affairs, had the babies, or the whatever, why didn't they admit it? Only when pushed.
As soon as they were busted.
And what did Bill Clinton do?
All right, I'm going to get busted if I don't take a commercial. We'll be right back.
Join us tomorrow when our guests will be Sharon Lawrence, Harry Shearer, Mary Cutrofello, and Doug McIntyre.
All right, we only have a little time. Let me ask the ladies. Did you ever have a crush on a guy so bad, okay, she was 22, that you let him treat you like this? I mean, over 16 months, 10 encounters, 10 minutes at a time.
It's not necessarily bad. I know why he lied, though.
Why?
Obvious. Because he knew that the country's going to spend the next 4,000 years talking about this